What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I just wanted to do a quick video. We got the snug fit rear bumper in today from Maier. It's a fiberglass rear bumper. It's designed to fit, as stated, snug to the car. If you have a 66 Mustang, you probably look at your factory bumper and see that there's just huge gaps. It just doesn't look good. It wasn't adjusted right from the factory, and so Maier has released this snug fit bumper that solves a lot of the issues that you will have with the stock bumper. Now, if you're wanting to keep a metal bumper on the car, then you can modify your existing bumper, and you're welcome to do that if you want. A lot of people do. I'm sure there's videos on YouTube of what you need to do, but in all honesty, the rear bumper on these cars doesn't actually stop any damage from happening. If you get in an accident at more than a few miles an hour, it's going to destroy the rear of your car, regardless of whether you have a steel bumper or not. The bumper is just not very stout. And so, with that being said, that is why I decided to go with the snug fit bumper that's fiberglass. I can shave some weight off, and I'm not really sacrificing a lot of structural integrity on the car, because again, the factory bumper, it's not very thick. It doesn't really mount like newer model vehicles bumpers do, and so that's just, you know, personal preference. Like I say, if you want to keep steel, that's fine, but chances are you're here because you may be thinking about ordering a fiberglass rear bumper, or maybe you have ordered it and you're having trouble installing it. And so that's kind of what I want to help you with this video. This is just a quick video. Again, I just want to give you a couple of tips and tricks that will hopefully help you get your rear bumper on and not have a bunch of issues. And so we can go over now, look at the car here. So you can see I've got this one kind of mocked up on here. It looks okay. It's not perfect. It still needs some adjustment. But the first thing that I want to talk about on this bumper is Maier sends it out now with this. This is like their new style one. They used to have a different mounting method, but they send it out, and it comes with 2 studs on the driver's side and 2 studs on the passenger side, and those go into the factory holes where your original bumper would mount. And that's great for that. But one of the issues that you're going to run into is you're probably going to want to slap this up here, and then the first thing you're going to do is you're going to grab your impact and you're just going to torque these things down, and then you're going to come to the front and you're going to look at the bumper, and it's not going to be fitting right at all. This ear right here will actually be pulled out like this. It just won't look right, and you'll be trying to figure out what the issue is. And so the issue is when you tighten those bolts, it causes the bumper to flex downward. And so you don't want to over tighten those bolts. That's the first main thing. You want to snug them down to the point where the bumper is not moving around like crazy, but is also not flexed out. You want to have some movement, like this one still. It's got some movement. I don't know if you can see it good on camera, but it still has some movement, and that gives you some adjustability as to where you want to put it. And what I also did, just for now, I took some cardboard, folded it up, and I've got it actually flexing the bumper upward to help it fit better. And you can see we got plenty of movement still. And so what I actually plan to do, now that these bolts are snugged down, I'm going to actually add my own bolts on the inside of both of these ears. And then I'm going to add another hole, and so that I can take and pull this corner up tight and get it adjusted where it needs to be, and that'll be on both sides. I think that's going to help with the install. I'm not 100% sure why Maier didn't just already have bolts here. I think the older style, it did have more bolts, but the newer one, they've just got it where it bolts, like I say, into the factory holes. But, you know, if you know anything about fiberglass, you know these things flex and they move. And so that just becomes, you know, an issue. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add, like I say, to each corner, just so it can be pulled in and adjusted where it needs to be. And I'll do another update video once that is done, and hopefully have this thing fully fitted on the car like it needs to be. But like I say, just right out of the box, it fit great. Huge props to Maier for getting this, you know, right out of the box. It doesn't require a whole lot of modification. You may be able, if you order this bumper, to request that they add bolts in these corners. They may have a different way of fitting it where you don't need the bolts, but just from what I can see, I kind of want the bolts to hold that tight. It's just going to hold this whole section tighter in, and I think it'll be better, but that can be personal preference. But like I say, the main takeaway for this video to help you get this on the car is just remember, leave these bolts loose. You can actually see I've only got one in each side even on at the moment. And so leave those loose, get the bumper fitted where it needs to be, and then you can tighten your bolts and figure out where you need adjustment from there. Because if you just put it on there and think you're just going to bolt it on and it's going to be perfect, you're going to be scratching your head wondering why it's not fitting correctly. And so I hope this video helps. If anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out in the comments. I'm hoping to have this thing fully mounted to the car in its permanent position by this weekend, and so hopefully I'll be able to answer any questions that you may have. But that's pretty much it for this video as far as the bumper goes. I do want to say, if you haven't been following the channel and you're just here for the bumper, that's great. I do appreciate subscriptions. If you can subscribe, doesn't cost anything, helps my channel grow. If you haven't seen this car, we are doing, you know, a 1966 Mustang. We are getting a wide body from Maier as well. I do plan to do an installation video on that that's going to be more detailed. So if you're thinking about getting a wide body from Maier, I am in fact doing one, and I'm going to have a video up of the installation once it comes in. If you're just now noticing this crazy green on the car, yes, it is a very crazy color. We got green and then we got purple. This car is a Joker themed Mustang, fully custom, a lot of green parts, a lot of purple parts. The main body of the car is going to be purple, and then a bunch of green accents. Like I say, this is a full custom build, and maybe you like the Joker, maybe you don't, but that's what we're doing. If you want to see more of this car, check out the channel. I do videos weekly of the progress that we make on it, and do appreciate any views or subscriptions we can get from that. I don't make any money on YouTube. I don't make any money on TikTok or anywhere else. All of this comes out of my pocket, and so, you know, subscriptions just help me to know that people want to see the car. And maybe if I can monetize the channel at some point and make a few bucks to pay for parts, so be it. That'll be fine. If not, I'm going to continue doing what I do anyway and just working on the car. But try to keep the video short, but I do want to give a shout out to Maier. I've had the wide body kit ordered. Spoiler alert, it's going to take about 3 months for them to make your wide body kit, so be prepared for that before you order it so that you're not upset for the wait time. It took them about 3 months for the wide body kit, about 3 months for the rear bumper, and it was the same thing for the hood. When we ordered it originally, it was about 3 months. So that's about the wait time, but that's just the way it is with custom fiberglass parts. But the shout out that I want to give to them is because I actually sent them an email last night at like 9:30 at night, just asking if there was an ETA on shipping for the wide body kit. And I was expecting the next day maybe to get a reply, or maybe even 2 days later, because that's the way customer service is sometime. But no, they actually responded that night a real message from a real person, not an automated response, telling me that the rear panels for the wide body were done and they were finishing up the front panels and they were hoping to have it shipped this week. So hopefully we'll get that in by next week, and maybe we could start getting it on the following weekend. And then I can get that video out for that. But just shout out for them for having good customer service. I was not expecting a reply at 10 o'clock at night, so that was great. But anyway, I'm not going to drag the video out any further. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out in the comments and I'll try to help you the best I can. That's why I make these videos. I like people to see the car. Don't mind helping any way possible. And we'll go from there, and we'll see if we can grow this channel. And everybody have a good night, and look forward to more videos.